Marketing needs to go to where the customer is. Marketing needs to think about how can I not just create my existing products, but how can I innovate, solve the new problems of the customer.
After, as you mentioned, there have been many changes. What aspects of post-pandemic marketing should not be forgotten?
So I think the basics of marketing are still incredibly important to understand your marketplace and how it's changing, and understand your customer, how they are changing. But it's not just today's customer, it's also your future customer. If you think about people like Steve Jobs, he was always very good at understanding what do future customers want, even if they cannot understand what a smartphone is. And so being able to anticipate what customers want. So, particularly as we move into a world which is increasingly driven by technologies, how do you engage young people today? Young people during the pandemic were particularly heads down. They were focused on, remote working, remote learning, peer-to-peer, that kind of stuff. So if you want to engage young people today, it's really about using the platforms, the media which they use. We found that in the pandemic, rock concerts moved into a gaming world. So, for example, Travis Scott did all of his biggest concerts on Fortnite. So if you want to go to the customer today, you have to go to where they are.
Yes.
And the gaming world, Mark Zuckerberg calls it the metaverse, but that kind of environment is now the normal world. So marketing needs to go to where the customer is. Marketing needs to think about how can I not just create my existing products, but how can I innovate, solve the new problems of the customer. And marketing needs to be able to think about how can I do things much, much faster, because the customer is thinking much, much faster. They have so much choice. The customer has the mobile phone in front of them. That gives them the power to be individual. So they expect personalized solutions. And so how do you respond in real time, one-to-one,
To that necessity.
which sounds incredibly complicated, but it's the real world. And it's for marketers and the rest of the business to actually make that leap forward, to have the courage to do things in a very different way from how they did beforehand.